Hi guys, and welcome back to Scribe Gaming. I'm your man Scribe, and I hope you're ready for some more GAC catch-ups. We're going to take a look at the finals of last week before we start the fresh week today. So let's get right into it. Alrighty, we're going to start off first and foremost with a little bit of a HotUtils comparison here. Let's zoom in just a smidgen. I'm on the left. Our opponent, Mini Thor Solo, is on the right. He belongs to the guild known as Irrationally Confident, and he probably should have had some confidence going into this particular finals. Now, we did win one and lose one, so this is almost a tiebreaker match for the pair of us. My score this season is a little bit higher. He has better lifetime banners, and overall best score is far superior to mine. Big sad. He's beat me on every offensive and defensive metric apart from unders, and has about 1.3 million more GP. Obviously, beating me in all of the top 80, top 65 character GP and ship metrics. He also has about 20 more Zeta mats, or 30 more Zeta mats as the case may be. I'm ahead on Omis by 2, and my modding is better. This seems to be a recurring theme in these GAC guys. I tend to be out-GP'd, out-Zeta'd, and all that malarkey, but my mods are where I make it up. As you can see, mod stat wise, he does have more 6-dot mods, but my speed mods are far superior in every aspect apart from the 15 plus range. This guy has got about 20 additional 15 pluses essentially, which is okay, but I feel like my top end speed mods are significantly better, which hopefully should give us the advantage. Now, when it comes to the relic summary down here, we both have got one relic 9. I have one additional Relic 8 on him, and we're equal on the tier 7s. However, he beats the pants off of me on every other relic tier, having nearly 100 additional. Well, he's got 63 additional relic levels. When it comes to the Galactic Legends, do you remember last round we were up against a gentleman with 6 GLs to our paltry 3, and it's the same old, the same old song and dance for us here at the Scribe Tribe. Once again, we are punching up against someone who has twice as many GLs. You know, it is what it is, guys. This is just kind of the nature of the beast for me right now, but hey, we'll deal with it. Key characters, my DR is faster, and my Piet comfortably outspeeds his DR for an easy DR counter there. His Cat is only Relic 4, surprisingly, and he's got a fairly speedy Maul here, but obviously not really concentrated much there on the offense side of things. When it comes to Piet, his Piet is not fast enough to take on my DR, which I always like to see, and he does have bad batch, obviously. Now, unfortunately, his Relic 9 is on this Piet down here, which could cause us some severe issues when it comes to fleet. Okay, interesting. Well, I'll about do it for the HotUtils comparison. Let's go ahead and take a look now and see how the defensive layout is. Let's bring us back in over here, and let's load in. So when I started my attack, he had already attacked, and as you can see, he is not full cleared, and my Qui-Gon Jinn in the south section is actually hunching over, so he's obviously dropped the battle day. The weird thing is this Newt team got a hold. I was not expecting that. No other holds in the northern section, though. He clean one-tapped all of those. Wasn't particularly expecting to get many holds, truth be told. In the south section, where we have 2 of our GLs, our JMK Cat and our Ray, we did get a hold with Starkiller, featuring that rather wonderful Gear 10 Visas Ma, and our Ray was also one-tapped. Big sad there as well. On the back wall, if we take a quick look, we're going to see that, yes, we did get several holds on our Qui-Gon Jinn. There was 3 holds on that BAM team before it finally fell, and he is 4 battles deep into this Qui-Gon Jinn team. He has killed the leadership, but I don't think he's got anything left in the tank to actually clear that south wall. This gave me so much hope. In his northern section, he's got a JTR team with BB-8, OG Finn, and Scav Ray and Resistance Pilot, Major Tom over there. We've got a Phasma lead. We're seeing a lot of these Phasma lead leftovers. He's got a fairly standard Mon Mothma Kar-Katan and his own Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron. Now, the Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron has got Old Ben and Juhani. Gross to see a Gear 12 Juhani, which means that there's no 100% additional offense for Jedi Knight Anakin when he takes his bonus turns. I love to see that. His south wall is where we see his first GL, He's gone for a standard Ray GL defense here with the Res Bros, Holdo, and OG Poe. And he also has Bad Batch on defense with Nest. Now, I'm not too sure about why you would put a team like this on defense. I mean, sure, Bad Batch are a very good team. You don't want them to get rolling, and Nest is annoying. But I feel like these are characters that would be better served to be saved on offense. He then has a Bosk lead Bounty Hunters with Zam Omicron, always something that's annoying, and then a GG Newt team down the bottom. So first of all, I'm going to try and take on the Ray team. As you know, guys, I've been trying to learn this Ray counter, but when I recorded these videos, I hadn't already had lots of wonderful feedback from the people down in the comment section. So, spoiler warning, we still mess it up. I went in a little bit forearmed. I still used the form up here at the start, which I'm still in two minds about. I have people telling me yes and no on this. And this is the problem. I went a little too hard on Resistance Hero Finn at the start. I really should have waited for Gas's first turn before going this hard on Resistance Hero Finn. Once I'd already triggered that, I figured I may as well try and trigger the damage immunity on Ray as soon as possible. So I think we take a look at it and we think, can we get Ray below the damage threshold before she takes her next turn, so that we can, before she gets her whirlwind off, so we can trigger that damage immunity early. Unfortunately, they do get a taunt over there, and a double taunt, and I'm like, oh, fiddlesticks. So I call in Arc, I believe, just to try and dispel one of the taunts on Holdo here. That also gets rid of that crit hit immunity, which is nice. Unfortunately, the counterattacks do put us in a position where we could, lose all our protection on Gas. So unfortunately, we have not yet triggered the heal immunity on Ray, and we're not looking too pretty. So they get some damage done, but it doesn't matter. We managed to stand back up with Gas before the ultimate hits, which is exactly what you want. You want Gas to be able to tank that ultimate hit so that we don't lose any units. Oop, he's got enough protection that it only does half the damage, and we just need to focus down Ray now. Obviously, we have not triggered that heal immunity yet, so I really desperately need to trigger that, kind of sharpish. We've got another Rex's form up coming up, so that should hopefully help us stand back up quicker when we drop next. All I'm concerned about now is that I do want to kill the Res Bros. We know that the damage immunity has already been triggered on Resistance Hero Finn, but obviously that taunt getting in the way once again is a little bit frustrating. There's another damage immunity and we sit down. Not ideal, because there comes the whirlwind and we lose two characters. I'm like, yep, I didn't play this very well. I think if we'd have killed Resistance Hero Finn at the start, might have been a different story. I was contemplating whether or not we actually lock this in. I don't know why I aimed at Finn then when I knew he had foresight. I was obviously on tilt, guys. It happens a lot to Boy Scribe. He does suffer quite drastically with tiltitis, where I lose sight of my concentration because I know things are all going down the pan. I wasn't massively concerned at this point, though. I will say that. I'd realized that, yes, we're not going to win this particular battle, but I knew I had some wiggle room because he couldn't clear my south section. So I figured, provided we can still clear, it should all be good, right? It should all be good. And then we start losing our clones again. And I'm like, can I even kill anybody before we get out of here? So I have a think, and I'm like, uh-oh. I went to try and close down the game there, but obviously it didn't time out too well. So first loss on the board. At this point, I thought, well, I've got nothing that's actually going to clean up this Ray. She was too close to 50% of her health at the end of that when she used her whirlwind. So if we'd start back, she's just going to regain that health. But I was wrong, obviously, because she was below. So she wasn't going to trigger that heal immunity. I take in JML because I figured I need to kill this Ray. I have to run the chance that he either doesn't have another GL on the back wall, or whatever GL he's got on the back wall is weak enough for me to use an off-meta counter for it. We know that JML against Ray goes very, very well. So I wasn't concerned that we were going to lose this. I just wanted to try and maintain as many banners as possible. And it goes pretty well, considering after our first fail of the day, that eventually, I promise you, I will learn this gas counter to Ray. I'll get it down. I just need some more time to practice it instead of just losing my patience and throwing the game away. But there we go. Just waiting for Holdo to come out of heal immunity now. I'm trying to heal up where I can. Just trying to get some protection recovery going, because you never know, it could come down to banners at the end of the day. I think we go into ultimate regardless. Yep, here comes the ult. Jedi Master Luke changes his clothes and looks far more dapper in his black robes than he does in his white. There we go, 43 banners. Obviously not an ideal start. Next up is going to be the return of the greatest Omicron in the game. The Wampacron makes his triumphant return. We are going up against GG, which is a fairly normal counter for me to use here. Now, pro tip guys, if you're going up against a Newt team in GG, don't pay your taxes until right at the end. There's no point. You're going to be doing most of your damage from your counterattacks. You don't want to ramp up their offense even further. Just sit there with those, pictures on Newt's phone, who's just checking out all the shady business that your Wampa's been getting up to, and just basic, and just raw, and just do your ground pound. You don't need to worry about too much else. Leave Newt till last. You don't have, because even when Grievous is below 100% health, he can only mark Separatist droids, so he won't. Well, it's actually not Separatist droids, it's just droids in general. He won't mark Newt, so once you've got rid of the B1 and the B2 and the Maggie, you can just quite freely hit Grievous. Like I said, there's nothing really to be worried about having that extortion there. You're still able to tank all the hits fine. I'd rather just keep on wailing away at the enemy team rather than constantly paying that extortion. And there's some more roars. I really am tempted, over 100,000 on a basic now, lovely. I really am tempted to put additional relic levels on my Wampa. My Wampa is only relic 5, I want to say. I could quite happily take Wamps to relic 8 and enjoy the fruits of that labor. It already deals with this counter perfectly well, of course, but I would like to use it to punch up against other things such as Kar-Katar Mon Mothma teams, Iden Versio teams, but I don't tend to see Iden Versio teams. So it's a long-winded affair, but eventually we do clear through this team. Oop, there we go, and now it's just Newty Boy and General Grievous. We keep roaring because I want to see just how high we can stack that damage. Obviously Grievous has got a bit more armor and protection, but there we go, still doing 100k on a basic. It's not bad, is it? Oop. And I think at this point, out of just funsies, I decide to pay my taxes. I'm like, get those off my phone, and then he just re-extorts me. I'm like, well, I'll pay it again. I'm like, okay, that's enough tomfoolery for now. He's like, well, I'm just going to extort you. And at this point, I get fed up and I'm just like, okay, just slap him. 100,000 damage. Finally, we get a good victory. 68 banners. So we go to take on the Bad Batch with the Nest squad now. I decided to use CLS here because I really didn't want that Bad Batch getting out of hand. And I'm confident that my CLS team can deal with that Nest. It was only Relic 1, but it doesn't have a shed load of hit points. You can't really give Bad Batch free reign to just start stacking up damage and stuff, so I decided to just go full send on them. CLS, I knew was going to be pretty comfortable win here. We can just focus down Echo out the gate so he doesn't actually start spreading that mass daze and the heal immunity and all that nonsense. I just wanted Nest to take that one turn, and I was like, okay, bye Nest. Boop. Goodbye. And then it's just Wrecker and Hunter. When Bad Batch loses units, they don't really do too well. Another win in the bag. This next one for me didn't exactly go to plan. I thought that I'd calculated the speeds correctly from Zam's army. I thought wrong. This is definitely a case in point of I got an absolute train rolled over me. I did not take a single turn, I don't think. Or if I did, that turn was like next to nothing. I was like, what just happened? And of course they focus down Mando, so you can't actually hope of getting a counter off. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, what the hell? Do you want to take any more turns, guys? Any more turns at all? I would like to take one turn. One turn would be nice. And they're like, no. So I'm just like, right, abort. That was a failed mission. Let's not try that again. So wasted a bounty hunter squad there. Big sad. I believe we might decide to use a Maul Mandos team here. And Maul Mandos it is. Now, obviously, I'm using some high caliber teams here, but really I need to see that back wall so I can plan for the rest of the battles. I know that I did not want that Zam, taking any turns and giving any benefits to the rest of this team, so I just need to focus her down. Yes, she is chunky, but I was fairly confident that Maul will be able to just slowly chew away at her protection, and then like drop an absolute hammer on her and kill her. So I think I leave her at that point and I start spreading around the damage. Now, Maul's damage increases with each consecutive use of Seething Rage. So each time it does 60% more damage, and that sort of stacks. So I like to stack around the damage just to try and get some kills on people, and then I focus the last hit on Zam Wessel because I didn't want her to be passing any more stats. And that's the long and short of it, really. So with her gone, this team is far more manageable. I don't know why I did the armor shred on Boba Fett. I think I just wanted to kill him. Should have probably done it on Bosk, because, you know, he's a tank. But, hey, we still have quite a bit in the tank here. Boop, boop, boop. Getting the triple shots off of our Seething Rage, and then the last hit. And I believe we get rid of Bosk. Lovely. And now it's just Cad Bane and Dengar. Cad Bane gets one tapped, Dengar chilling out at the back there. He is a little bit annoying when he's got a Zeta because he can recover quite a bit of health and protection when he gets those debuffs. But ultimately he won't actually survive forever, especially not with someone like Canderous, who's constantly putting those dots on him. When he eventually does take a turn, he's going to have so many dots. You can see we've got 13 at the moment, 14, 15, 16 dots right now. Okay, yeah, I think he's probably going to die when he takes a turn. So it doesn't matter that he's just constantly, you know, that's probably like 18, 19 dots and he just like, blap, game over. Okay, cool. With that victory, we do get to see what is on the back wall for Mini Thor Solo. Remember, this guy has 6 GLs. Here we can see our trusted friend, Lord Vader, once again. Now, obviously not an ideal team. It does have Asajj Ventress and Night Sister Zombie, so it's not exactly a full cadre of people, but, you know, it's still another GL, and I don't have a GL to deal with it. So instead, we decide to open up Fleet to see what's on his fleet walls, to see what we can do. And with that, we go after the Qui-Gon Jinn. So I'm going to be taking in Bad Batch here to deal with this Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron. There are a few options you can take. You can take Gas, obviously. You can take CLS. You can take Bad Batch. These all work rather well. You can also take Bounty Hunters, which would have been very useful for me if I hadn't have wasted that team trying to take on that Zam Omicron. But mistakes were made, and we will not make the same mistake again. This time, we did actually go in with a Hunter lead. Go us. So, you know, there's that. I think we do the AoE just to get rid of all of that foresight. Yep, there it goes. Anakin gets the bonus turn, does like no damage thanks to the lack of a full Galactic Republic squad, which is lovely. And we shoot. Lovely. We shoot. Just looking to recover the rest of that health and protection, because you never know, it could be a banner victory. Let's give this to Omega. Maximum banners. 65. Next up, we're going to have a bit of deja vu and repeat the same squad that we used Nest for last round of GAC. We know that this can work. We also know that the dodgy section is that OG Kylo. If that OG Kylo stacks up enough damage, they can just one-tap the Nest, and there's got a lot of recovery. So what I learned from last time is that I want to start stunning that OG Kylo early and not place quite as much importance on killing that Fox so quickly. So after I did the first one, I was like, hang on, no, this is not what I'm supposed to do. I want to try and deal with the OG Kylo as quickly as possible. But not constantly attack. Just sort of treat it almost like you would treat a Nest. You kind of try and keep her stunned until you're ready to kill her. Don't like focus attacks on them. So next round, we've got the big hit coming again, which can potentially stun. So I believe it's what we do. Yep, they're just doing first order Phasma lead things. We get rid of the pilot. Pilot is usually very, very squish. The Fox is looking really hairy. So I think we just go for the stun on OG Kylo. No, I accidentally do an AoE. Why would I do that? I'm a fool. Proving myself to be a fool. Okay, big hit. Nearly killed Kylo Ren there. And I'm like, oh, yes, please. Yes, please. Go on, get the kill. Booyah. OG Kylo is out of there. And now I'm feeling happy. Now I'm feeling happy because I'm like, yep, I've already dropped teams. I need to get high efficiency teams where I can. They take about 13,000 turns between the pair of them. And we just slowly clear up. Oh, would you look at that? Van Seal, our boy Van Seal actually raided us in the middle of this particular battle, guys. And he stuck around and had a chat for a while. It was cool. It was cool. I think he'd just finished doing his GAC battles too. Shout out to my boy Van Seal. Go check out his channel if you haven't already. 65 banners. So once again, we are taking on a Mon Mothma Kyle Katarn team. This Kyle Katarn had like 294 base speed. So, 294 divided by 0.7, 420 speed. He blazes, guys. This is a blazing fast Kyle Katarn. So I went in with Zalbar here as a reactive taunt, and I was just hoping if I can get just a couple of turns to try and whittle down the numbers, maybe we can actually get somewhere. You never know. It could work. It could work. We nearly got rid of Biggs there, which I was super happy. Wedge there, which I was super happy about. But that taunt on Cara Dune, obviously doing us no favors. There goes Zalbar doing his business. I get the armor shred on because if she's going to be retaunting, sorry about that. We got a new follower with Charles Mikey. Apologies, guys. We get the fracture on her to stop her taunting, and we start spreading out more buffs. Obviously, they're going to be cleansing all their dots all the time, and Vader Lead is just going to be reapplying them. So I don't know why in this situation I was so focused on trying to kill Cara Dune. I really should have just left her fractured and tried to make sure that other people get killed, like Wedge. So Kyle Katarn's got ability blocks. Now, Vader's basic will apply ability block, which is unresistible on Jedi enemies. Super, super useful, guys. So yeah, obviously they're healing up a bit, and I'm getting concerned now. If I can't get round to a second Merciless Massacre, we are screwbarbed and custard. As you can see, we have ability block here. I'm not sure if we had Merciless Massacre available to us at this point, but that probably would have made a difference. And if I'd have killed Cara Dune there, that probably would have stopped us from getting stunned with Vader, but no. Big sad, big sad. So yeah, we lose that match as well. Now that one I do believe was winnable if I'd have killed Cara Dune, because that would have stopped her from getting her AoE stun out. She wouldn't have been alive on the field, and maybe we could have made some progress. All you really have to do against the Mon Mothma team is kind of have any situation where 2 of the Rebel fighters are dead. Couldn't quite cut it. So after much deliberation, I threw in the towel and I thought, look, I'm definitely not killing that Lord Vader. I have to get through to fleets, because if he can't kill my south wall, I at least have to kill fleets. So we take in what is essentially the Slacker counter with Jedi Knight Revan. You can't really underestimate, once you've run out of options to kill Kyle Katarn teams and that sort of thing, you can't really underestimate it. So I just threw everything in here in a bit of a Hail Mary, truth be told. I knew, like I said before, guys, if you can kill 2 people consecutively in a Mon Mothma team before they really get rolling, then you should be golden. So no Cara Dune, there's no Kyle Katarn, so the key people are dead at this point. We try to land the stun on Biggs. He does trigger his bonus turn, unfortunately. And then we get rid of Wedge, and now I'm like, okay, we are definitely good now. We are definitely good now. Biggs gets stunned, takes his bonus turn. I don't know why I taunted there. I should have just slapped Biggs, but there we go. We got a victory, but at what cost, guys? At what cost? We've dropped too many battles already. It's really going to come down to who can clear more. So I head back briefly to the south section here, because I remembered this old OG team to beat Geos. Now, the error ratio on this particular resistance team is massive. If you use Finn's special and don't land those key exposes like I did there, this counter just goes to hell in a handbasket super quick. But I was running out of options, guys, so I had to try and do something. Luckily, we get pretty good. We actually get pretty good. We start dealing some good damage. I want to take out Poggle so he doesn't get the option to cleanse his allies, and I actually get even more exposes on the field. So I'm just sat here doing AoEs, getting the mass days, accidentally hit Brute there where I really didn't need to, try and land the stun on the Brood Alpha. Things are looking really pretty. So I start focusing down Geonosian Soldier. I know that if I can get Soldier out without losing anybody else, we're in for a good chance here. There we go. Soldier is out. Let's try and get some more exposes. Get 3 exposes again. And then he gets a lucky dodge, and that really makes me upset. But we still have 2 exposes. As long as you keep proccing those exposes, you'll be golden. Golden, golden, golden. Major Tom nearly taking out GBA there. The taunt comes back up, I believe. No, it doesn't. Doesn't come back up. Ignore me. I'm talking nonsense. Just focusing down that GBA. Sunfac decides to taunt. How annoying. Do the AoE. Lovely. Taking a knee. Nice. Another one down. More, like, we got pretty lucky with all these exposes actually landing. So I was pretty happy with that. Needed that victory, guys. Needed that victory. 63 banners. So I decided to go in and clear out the top wall using my Imperial Troopers. Yes, this is potentially a team that I could have used to take out a team in the south, but I wanted to guarantee that 100% I can hit fleet. That's the most important thing to me. You may notice here, guys, that I don't actually have Dark Trooper in the squad. And that's because I wanted to save Dark Trooper for a potential attempt at the Maul Mandos team. We'll see how that goes in a second. I was still pretty confident that we could kill this team in one shot without Dark Trooper in there, and that might have been a little bit foolish of me, because you're just kind of lacking the DPS, and that Snow Trooper is only gear 11. So I decided, you know what? We need to use the death mark here to actually start killing people, because if we don't kill people, we are in so much trouble. I think we do the AoE to clear off all the exposes Foresight right now, and I want to kill BB-8. He has Foresight, but he's also dazed. You can always hit someone who's stunned. Sorry, he's not dazed. He was dazed, but he was stunned is the main point. And at this point, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. I didn't want to use the mark because I didn't actually want to focus the damage and actually lose a unit. Always want to be getting rid of that Foresight off JTR as well. I did consider putting the death mark on her then, but at the same time I thought, hang on, she's probably just going to cleanse it, and then Finn comes in and cleanses it on him. So that was kind of a big middle finger from this particular resistance team. I wasn't too happy, but there we go. At this point I was feeling a bit comfortable, so I thought I'm going to mark on range. It could work out. It could work out. We focus down Finn. He's nearly dead. Just boop. There we go. He's gone. Get rid of that Foresight. The assists are lovely. Doing some good damage. See if we can get some days out there. Lovely. Death mark as well. Booyah. Goodbye JTR. So not clean. Was expecting it to be easier than that. But, you know, we still got it. And here we have his fleet defense. He's got Negotiator. He has got First Order. And he has got Resistance back here. Now, he's already taken out my Executor. He had an R9 Executor. I assume no assuming about it. He clearly used his Executor, R9 Executor in the mirror match. And my two other fleets are trash. So I know he's definitely clearing my fleets, guys. And he is up, I believe, 2 battles and has a, 82 banner advantage. So theoretically, it's all on the cards, provided I clear fleet, because he's definitely going to clear fleet, right? But who knows how the rest of the battle is going to go. Is it going to be a real banner pinch? We'll find out. And this here is my Hail Mary team. I really don't have anything left to deal with this back wall. He's got Lord Vader, and he has this Maul Mandos with BAM squad. This, I was just like, I have nothing else that might work. So I threw in Dark Trooper here. I'm hoping that the Traya lead is going to offset the Bo-Katan bonus, but it really doesn't. It does nothing. Like, there's too much healing with Bo-Katan in there, unfortunately, for the Traya lead to really do anything. But I had nothing to lose by taking this team in. It made me a little bit sad. I know that if I was more efficient on the front wall, then I definitely would have had enough to clear this team. But, you know, c'est la vie, that's always how it goes, guys. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. At this point, I'm like, I really don't think there's anything that I can do against this team. I don't think I can even kill one unit. And even if I could kill one unit, I don't think that there's anything in my roster now that can deal with anything. I am so dry in characters. And then we just eat the whistling birds. So I was like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll take it. Okay, so I decided to start hitting fleet. Now we've got Negotiator first up. So I decided, you know what? We're going to take in Malevolence here. Yes, it is the Ahsoka starting lineup, which is really annoying for a Negotiator lineup, for a Malevolence lineup, because obviously when you get the mass buzz droids out there, she can turn that into retribution, and that's just really frustrating. So he comes in with the AoE, we cleanse off all the debuffs, I get the stun on Anakin, I think. Or do I stun? Oh, I might stun the BTLB Y-Wing here. Yeah, that's to stop him taunting. Now what I should have done here is I should have absolutely just put out the buzz droids. Yes, Ahsoka would have just flipped it on back. And of course he has he has the Clone Sarge, which I still firmly believe it's not a smart idea to have Clone Sarge on your reinforcement bench because he will always get called out first. However, because of how I played it, didn't work out so well. So I call in Spy, and of course we don't get Anakin, we get Ahsoka. I focus her down and kill her, but that just means Anakin takes his bonus turn. He's going to be spreading more of that Valor, which is going to speed up his capital ship, and he's going to get to ultimate very, very quickly. Now we decide to spread those buffs. I chose not to attack the Clone Sarge because I didn't want to trigger Anakin again, but then of course he takes max health damage anyway, so I was like, oh god, I'm playing so badly right now. We do the AoE. Boom, Anakin is very nearly dead, but anybody who's been in this position before knows that when Anakin's nearly dead, Plo comes in and cleanses all the buzzy droids, and I'm like, I'm in danger. I'm in real danger right now, because the capital ship's next turn is just going to put Undying Loyalty on the entire team. Oh, okay, no, it's going to Ultimate. The one after this will put Undying Loyalty, and I'm never going to kill that Anakin, and that is bad news bears for me. I call in the Ebon Hawk, I think. Obviously, we still have to deal with Clone Sarge, but, you know, we got to do what we can do right now. Anakin taking turns. We've very nearly lost our Hyena Bomber there. He's about to bite it, and I'm like, I'm in so much danger right now, and he's got a full component of reinforcements, so I'm like, oh gosh, we are so in trouble. I'm like, if I can just maybe get to the ultimate, we might at least be able to kill Anakin, maybe? And they seem to have an absolute obsession with not attacking my Vulture droids. There we go. We get to the ultimate, I'm like, oh, Jesus. Okay, so if we can at least kill Anakin, he gets a dodge. We can at least kill Anakin, we might be okay. I'm like, do I AoE just to try and kill Anakin? I actually call in the Spy just to give us an extra body on the field more than anything. Anakin dies to his own buzz droids. Fantabulous. I'm like, okay, great. Now please don't attack my soldier. Just attack the buzz droid. Attack the buzz droid. He gets Rex out as well. And I'm like, oh my god, Rex with four Galactic Republic allies. That's not good. We nearly get out 5s. I don't know why I decided to spread the damage. Just kill 5s. Yes, kill 5s. Great. Now Y-Wing is gone. I'm like, oh, things are looking better. Things are looking better. Maybe we can do something here. Maybe we can do something. I'm like, oh no, well, wait a minute. I'm completely out of reinforcements. I need to do whatever I can. Plo, maybe I can kill Plo. Oh god, it's another ultimate. Ouch. And I think that is all she wrote for this particular counter. We get the lucky stun. Very fortunate for us, but I'm pretty certain they just go straight for the Spy now. Soldier, sorry. Yeah. Eat the Spy, and I'm like, oh, gosh. Not a good start to the fleets battles, guys, and not a very solid win for me all in all. So as you know, guys, when you go on tilt, the solution is not to start playing it safe. It's apparently to double down on being dodgy. So I use my rebels to take on his First Order because I want to try and save my Negotiator to clear up the Negotiator and use another dodgy counter for other remaining ships. So I'm like, if they get the hunted on my MILF, I'm done. But they put it on Biggs. I was like, oh, we can win. Great. So our Millennium Falcon goes, we immediately do the outmaneuver, and I just want to try and get rid of the Echelon as soon as possible. It should be pretty squishy. It's only 4 stars, and it's looking pretty good right now. So we get rid of him, and we're like, okay, fabulous. Let's see if we can get rid of Slicer. And of course he dodges the Millennium Falcon hit, so he manages to keep his advantage and his offense up. And I'm like, you. And then he survives. So he would have been dead by now if he hadn't have dodged that hit. He didn't have foresight or anything. He was just being a cheeky so-and-so. So we decided to heal up here on the Biggs. Oh, not on the Biggs, sorry, the Bistan. And now my Biggs is looking a little bit leery. Again, that Slicer decides to hang on by a literal hair. We go after the shuttle now, and I'm like, yeah, if I can do this without reinforcing, that'll save me some banners. Potentially. I'm like, you know what? Let's just call in the BTLB Y-Wing. At least this gives some passive banner recovery. And I was like, oh, the shuttle always removes TM when you reinforce. God, that's an annoying ship. Cool strategy, though. We need more ships like the shuttle in the game. It's an interesting kit. It's different. And then we get the one tap, which we needed. 72 banners. Next up, we decide to go and mirror match the Resistance Holdo fleet. I had a little bit of confidence because I had more stars on my SF-17. I believe I'm at 5 stars and he was at 4 stars. So I was like, yeah, we could do this. The other benefit, of course, is that this guy started with Resistance Pilot on the starting lineup instead of having him on the bench. That means I've got more DPS out the gate and I've got a better reinforcement ability, in my opinion. Now, Poe, when he reinforces, does have a good damage boost, but I prefer the viability of the Resistance X-Wing as a reinforcement. So I tried to focus down the SF-17. I was thinking, you know, it's weak. We can just kill him and then we're up a ship. And we do that. We get the big hit off of our Millennium Falcon, and he reinforces with that weird Sith ship. Can't remember what it's called. So I was like, interesting choice. Interesting choice. I come in with the Resistance Pilot. We get rid of all the buffs on their Millennium Falcon. I'm like, okay, happy days. Let's just focus damage down on that thing. If we can kill that thing, we are laughing. It's already looking pretty good as far as I'm concerned. We are a ship up. We still have a full fleet of Resistance pilots, so we can probably get the Holdo maneuver off if all else fails. Obviously, looking a little bit squished there. Get the big hit. Booyah, 118,000 taking out that Rey Millennium Falcon. Resistance Pilot is our next target. The exposers there doing wonders. The counterattack stripping off the enemy's foresight, which is lovely. So I'm like, okay, fabulous. I used the Holdo maneuver here just because. Why not? You don't lose banners, guys, if your capital ship dies. It doesn't do anything, for banners at least. So I decided to just do that and clear up. 74 banners. Booyah, we just got the Negotiator to take out now. So obviously we crippled his Negotiator fleet earlier on by, you know, taking out pretty much everything and leaving him with just like Clone Sarge, Rex, and a weak Plo. So I knew that my full cadre of Resistance pilots would definitely do the trick here. I didn't want to leave it to Resistance because you never know. You never know. I've had enough poor performances in this particular GAC to not risk it for a biscuit, guys. I just wanted to clear this northern section, which obviously, fortunately, we do. However, my ground roster is now completely empty and he has 2 teams left on defense. I've only got 1. So it's not looking good for us here at the Scribe Tribe. When we take a review here, you can see he started attacking fleets. Yes, I am up. Don't be deceived by the amount of banners that we have here. If we are to pause it right now, if we look at the banner difference here, apologies. If we look at the banner difference, I have got 1426 and he has got 1156. Yeah, that's a difference of 270 banners. He's got 1 fleet left to kill here because he just killed the other fleet. He's going to gain 219 banners from clearing the section, which means he only needs 51 banners in a fleet battle to win. I can't kill anything else. However, as weird as this sounds, he just beat that last fleet there. He had 3 hours left on the clock and he never attacked again. He had the game won. I messaged him. I said, look, you had the game won. Why did you stop attacking? And he said his work got too busy and he couldn't finish up his attacks. So, you know, apologies, Mini Thor Solo. Sorry you couldn't finish your attacks. You won that game fair and square. I wish you all the best in the rest of your GACs. But to the rest of you people who are watching at home, don't forget, I do these live on Twitch. Come and join me. There will be battles later. Tomorrow, we'll have fresh new starting of GAC tonight, and I will be battling tomorrow. Come round on Twitch tomorrow. Come and see. And everything will be golden and good. Well, actually, when I'm recording this is tomorrow, but when we go live, it'll be today. So come find me on Twitch, guys. Links in the description down below. You've got Twitter, you've got Twitch, you've got Discord, all of that good business. Come find me, come follow me. Do like and subscribe as well, guys. I need love and validation. I am a needy individual. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out. Just giving a quick shout out to my patrons. I appreciate each and every single one of you. And without your support, I wouldn't be doing this today. Thanks so much.